Well, today, the GOP presidential candidates will be battling it out in the South. Joining us to tell us what we can expect and what it might mean when it's all over is political analyst John Dadian. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're talking Alabama for one, right, and Mississippi for the other. Those are the two in the South, and then there's Hawaii as well.
And don't forget America Samoa.
And don't forget America Samoa. Do you expect anything to come out of today? I mean, it's Super Tuesday. Nothing really emerged. What do you think about today?
And again, I predicted Super Tuesday, to use my terms, it's going to be a hodgepodge. And I think that is what happened. Today is very significant because I'll give you a couple of different scenarios.
All right.
If Gingrich were to win the two southern states, etc., that would be huge. It would show that he's still alive. It would scare the heck out of Santorum, and it would show Romney's going to have a long slog to the convention. If Romney wins both, then it really does start cementing him, and it really goes a long way to cementing him. The reason I say it's so important is because the polling right now shows literally there have been so many polls to show Romney up by 2 to 3 points,
right,
Gingrich up by 2 to 3 points. And the reason that's significant is that's within the margin of error. So it's literally a tie.
And Gingrich could win both these states to add to South Carolina and Georgia, and then that we always discuss this momentum thing. He would have that going in, and obviously he would stick around for the rest of the race that way.
Keep in mind what they're doing now is they're building up delegates, okay? Romney only has about 400 plus for about 1,100 needed, so still a long way to go. What you've seen so far in the primary results, and they are calling today's primary a Southern-type primary because of those two states, what you've seen is they've really done it by region. Romney's done good in the Northeast, Gingrich has done good in the South, and Santorum's done good in the Midwest.
You keep leaving out Ron Paul.
I do.
And there's people out there that get very upset when we leave out Ron Paul. Your feelings about him? He's only got single-digit numbers in any polling in Alabama and Mississippi.
Again, I like Ron Paul because he's added to the debate. Clearly he has. And he has said straight out that what he really wants to do is get his message out. And he's doing a very good job of it. Here's what's really going on with the Ron Paul campaign. Every time they do well, pick up a delegate here or two, that it helps their fundraising. And when the fundraising increases, that gives them enough money to go to the next primary state, to pay for that hotel, to pay for that TV interview or whatever. So he just wants to stay alive into the convention, and he'll go to the convention with a delegate or two.
You know, and when we finished up the primary last week, the Super Tuesday, there was some conventional thought that maybe California will indeed make a difference this time around. Do you have that feeling that we're going to go along long enough to where California will be significant?
It's absolutely looking that way. It does look like it's going to be significant. And keep in mind, that could affect our local races, including mayor, including the council races, including the county supervisor races, which are pretty big races, we forget here regionally, et cetera, because what that's going to do is really drive the Republican turnout in the primary. They're saying that the Democratic turnout will be higher in the general, which is accurate because it's the main presidential. But in the primary, if people really want to show that Ron Paul supporters, right, 2 blocks, 2 houses down from my house, my neighbor has a big Ron Paul sign. So he definitely has his share of supporters. I would never leave him out. But it can have an effect on our local races a great deal.
Since you bring that up, one last question about the mayor's race. We just got a poll in that shows that Carl DeMaio's leading, Filner in second, and the other two candidates are tied at 11%. Does that make any difference at this point? What are your thoughts about the mayor's race right now?
It certainly helps, which is important in campaigns as far as perception. Okay, but again, my definition of a poll is it's a snapshot in time. And so here's the answer. With DeMaio ahead in this poll, he would win mayor if the election were held today.
But it's not.
That's why they call it a campaign. Nathan Fletcher has done very well on fundraising, and he hasn't spent his money yet. And Carl DeMaio, of course, has done very, very well on fundraising. So this is a campaign similar to presidential. I'm going to use the S word again. They're going to slog it out until June.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It absolutely is.
All right, John Dadian, thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Okay.